Can you hear me now? If you can hear me now, just let me know in the chat. Yeah, okay, cool. Hello, Ganesh. So, yeah, if you have any questions, do let me know in the chat. I will pick them one by one. By the way, how's your weekend going? Which one would you recommend, student accommodation or a shared house? So, student accommodations are much more convenient. It's easy to book, and you don't have to worry about whether it's a scam or not. But then also, it's a bit expensive as compared to shared house. And on top of that, right now, finding a shared house is getting tougher and tougher. So, even I was looking to change my current place, and it took me quite a while to find a house. And one of my friends, she was also looking for a house, and there was a lot of struggles. So, if as you are coming here very new, you don't know about the place, to be on a safer side, I think student accommodation should be fine, because you don't have to worry about whether it's a scam or not, and you don't have to look for accommodation every day. So that's what. But if you are on a tight budget and if you want to save some money, then definitely shared house is the better option. What is the cost of living in Newcastle upon Tyne? Um, so the major chunk of your monthly expense will be your rent. So as a student, if you're taking student accommodation, then probably you will be paying in 2 or 3 installments. So that is I'm not going to include. But then if we talk about food and stuff, I think £20 per week should be good enough, just for foods and things like that. But if you, let's say, buy clothes and all, that obviously you won't do monthly. So that you can again save around £100 for that in, let's say, 3 or 4 months. So that's there. But if I have to give you a number which would be enough for you to manage your monthly expense, for me, if I'll just give you my example. So I'm paying rent as £475 per month, and you can add another £150 for my living expense, which includes food, and also I save some amount if I need to, let's say, buy some clothes or anything like that. So that's what my living expense is. But if you are a very outgoing person, if you like to go to parties on weekends, then probably you'll have to uh, save little more for that. Yeah. By the way, there will be a in-depth video about cost of living overall in the UK, which will include Newcastle and Bristol as well. So my friend will probably make that video and will put it on the other channel. So yeah, that video should give you even better idea about uh, what could be the possible living expense, and in that video we'll discuss about the proper breakout of the whole expense. How much for student accommodation and shared house? So student accommodation varies from £70 to all the way up to £150, depending on what type of room you're taking, whether it's a single room, whether it's a ensuite, or whether it's a studio. So it depends quite a lot on that. For shared, again, it ranges from £400 per month. There are many houses which are even cheaper. You can get for around £300 per month, and it can go all the way up to £1,000. So that is the range for shared house as well. I came across a student echo, and they charge 400 per person per month, I guess. Yeah, including all the bills, but there's a check. The tenancy period is from 23 to 24. I think it's a good deal because £400 seems like a good deal, and it's a student accommodation. So, yeah, that seems like a good deal. But your concern is the duration, I guess. Can I extend my tenancy period if I have to stay for some more time in student? So as soon as you have finished your masters, you can't really extend your student accommodation because they give it on yearly basis. So that's there. So as soon as your, let's say your course is for 1 year, so you can't really extend your accommodation. But if you are taking a course which is for 2 years, so 1 year will be your course, 1 year will be your placement year. So if that is the case, then you can probably extend your accommodation for one more year. So that's there. Hi bro, I have a master's degree in physics. Can I apply for jobs related to it while doing masters in data science in the UK? Yes, you definitely can. You have experience related to physics, and if you really want to work in that domain, you can obviously apply for jobs related to physics or anything in related field. And definitely, you can also apply for data science roles as well, as you will be doing your masters in data science. So it is totally possible. Hi Roshan, Utkasha here. Hello Utkasha. We got admit from University of Liverpool and Cardiff University. Should we wait for reply from Sussex, Glasgow, and Bath, or should we finalize between these two? So Liverpool and Cardiff both are really good universities, and I personally would go for Liverpool over any of the universities which you are still waiting for. Of course, Glasgow and Bath are ranked a little bit higher than Liverpool. But if I simply talk about the course content of Liverpool, I personally feel like overall it's a very good package. So if you have some time, because um, it's still December, so if you want to wait till January, then probably you can do that. But if you just want to go for something, and if you want to start applying for loan and all those processes, then definitely Liverpool is a better option. But if you think it's worth waiting for Glasgow and Bath, then probably you can just wait, and I don't think there is a harm. And if I remember correctly, I think you're going for September 23 intake. So so yeah, you still have quite a lot of time. So yeah, you can wait probably till January, and then you can start your loan application and all those kind of things, because you'll still be having quite a lot of time. But if you just wanna get over with it, I think Liverpool is a very good option, and of course Cardiff again is a good option. Did you try computer vision based role? Yes, I did. I had offer for image segmentation. Uh, it was a It was HM Land Registry, which is a government body here in the UK, which deals with all the housing and things like that. So they were working on image segmentation. So yes, I did try for that, but eventually I decided to go for some other role, and I did not take uh, that particular role. Not because of computer vision or anything, but related to other stuff, like I had to move to London, and also they were not sponsoring the visa. So yeah, those were the reasons. I'm confused between business analytics and data analytics. I don't want math heavy course as I'm not too good at it. So if you are confused about these two, I already have a video on my channel, so do check out that video. If you want, I can quickly grab a link of that video, so it should help you. But if you don't really want too much maths, I think you should stick to business analytics. But yeah, you will get a little bit more understanding about these two. So here's the video for that. And I've also started a Discord server, which I will share with you guys in some time. Just little bit of housekeeping is needed, like to create different sections and to add some rules and some guides. So once I'm done with that, I'll share the Discord server link as well. So there I have created different sections where you can find different topics and you can have a discussion related to um data science, study abroad. If you are, let's say, coming to UK or you're going to Canada or anywhere, and if you want to find people who are also having similar interests, then probably you can just buddy up with them, and probably you guys can travel together or maybe find accommodation together. So things like that. So I think uh, that should really help you guys. Is Newcastle University 25 KP for 1 year? I did not understand. Is that are you asking for fees like 25k pounds for 1 year course? So no, it's not. It They have increased the fees to 28k now. So now the fees is quite a lot for Newcastle University. I applied for Nottingham University, Warwick, and Durham. What other universities should I target for business analytics? And does ranking matter in job hunting after course completion? So no, it does not matter from which university you are doing, and the university which you have mentioned, they seem to be a they seem to be good universities. So if you've already applied to those universities, and if you have a good profile, you should be able to get a offer from either of these universities or maybe all of these universities. But if you if you want to apply for some of the universities where you want to make sure that you will get uh, offer, then probably you can try some of the uh, affordable universities. So yeah, that's there. And I already have a video about some of the affordable universities for business analytics, so you can check out that video as well on the channel. Did you try TopMate? No, I did not try TopMate as of now because uh, right now YouTube YouTube membership seems to be working fine, and if I go for some other platforms, I will probably have to do a little bit more on those platforms as well. But yeah, this is just because of lack of time, so that's there. But yeah, I still have uh, it on my list, so I will probably uh, see I will probably try Topmate as well at some point. But for now, I just want to keep things to be simple. That's why YouTube membership seems to be working fine. Applied for QMUL, data analytics program. How much time does it ideally take to get offer letter from the university? So I had applied to Queen's Mary University of London in December, and I got offer from them in March, I guess. So it took me around 3 months. So yeah, that's there. Hi Bruno, I got offer letter from QMUL within a month. So yeah, this is very subjective. So it depends at what time you apply. So Rajesh has already got the offer, and it just took 1 month for him. So that's great. And congrats, Rajesh. How can we get maximum scholarship? By applying to as many scholarships as you can. So different universities have different type of scholarships, and you also have scholarships like Commonwealth and Sheving. So you can apply to those as well. They are full scholarships. So yeah, it's totally up to you. If you can apply to lot of scholarships, probably you will get some. But it also depends on your profile and what type of competition you will be getting. So that's there. Is machine learning and deep learning is okay for job purpose, or I need to learn CV and NLP? So machine learning, deep learning are like umbrella term, and computer vision, natural language processing comes under these. So let's say you want to work on image segmentation, so you can do, and it is a computer vision problem, and you can do that using machine learning techniques, you can do that using deep learning techniques. So if you know machine learning, deep learning, and if you are using those things on tabular data, it should be fine as long as you understand the architecture, as long as you understand the algorithm in depth, and their limitations and their advantages. So as long as you know about that in machine learning, deep learning, I think you should be fine. It's not like you have to have very good understanding about computer vision or natural language processing, because these are very uh, project specific. Because let's say you go to a company where they put you on a project which is related to computer vision, and then you complete that project, and then they put you on some other project where you have to work on natural language processing. So if you know machine learning, deep learning properly, it shouldn't be that hard to switch between either of these or any other use cases. So yeah, that's there. Could you trace topics you have in computer vision? Just heading, just want to check if my knowledge is sufficient, or what else I need to learn. Try to be a T guy or Pi guy if it is decent. So, what type of uh, topics should be there in computer vision? So, computer vision is more like you will be working with images. So if you understand about image processing, so what do I mean by image processing is you understand about different color codes. So there are different color codes like HSV, YCBCR, and there are many other RGB. There are many other type of color codes. So you want to work on, let's say, road sign detection. So in that, if you color code your image into certain part where your road sign boards will pop out more, and it will be easier for your deep learning algorithm to pick up patterns in the image. It will definitely help rather than just pushing your RGB colors into your RGB images into your deep learning or machine learning pipeline. So that is something you need to know. And there are certain image processing that you can do is um, these things you can actually do with a lot of different things like image data generator, which will do all these things for you. But it's good to know how these things work. So let's say flip image, horizontal flip, vertical flip, and then maybe zooming in, zooming out, all those kind of things. So there is one package called sk image, I guess. So that package is really good to do a lot of different image processing. So image processing is probably one of the most important things that you should know in computer vision. And after that, it's like putting them into machine learning algorithm or deep learning algorithm to figure out what type of patterns they have. So that's there. And one more thing is, when you get an image data set, you see a data set which seems like uh, fine, and on top of that you can't really do too much exploitative data analysis on that. So what you can do is check whether the images which are in different folders in different classes, whether they are in equal number, just to avoid imbalance data set. And then you need to see how hard your problem is. So one of the problems which I worked on was distracted driver detection. So in that, there was this problem where there were two images of same person where he or she was holding a phone, something like this. And then there were some images where they were making their hair, or they were just doing something with their ear. So in both the images the hand is very close to their ear. The only difference was phone, and sometimes instead of phone they were holding comb and things like that. So for me it was sort of easy to see if it's a phone or a comb, but if you pass it on to your deep learning algorithm, into your convolution neural network, probably they won't be able to figure out because it's a very slight change. So one way I solved this problem was to, rather than randomly splitting the images into test and train, I've split the images using person ID, because not everybody, but most people have different way of holding phones. So I usually hold my phone something like this, but then I have seen some people they hold their phone something like this. So uh, when I did that, my algorithm worked a bit better than what it was doing before. So also you need to analyze images on individual basis, I would say. So these are some of the things that you can probably try in computer vision. Newcastle has offered me Vice Chancellor's International Scholarship of 4K pound. Can I also apply for the scholarship you mentioned a few minutes ago? Yes, you definitely can apply for other scholarships as well. And I think Newcastle also provides a scholarship of around 10K. So if you apply for that and if you get that, so whichever will be the maximum, you will get that. So you can apply for multiple scholarships. His business analytics role is in demand in UK and wanted to know about job opportunity in comparison to data analytics or data science. So the thing is, most of the people who have done data analytics or data science, they can fill the role of business analyst. But if you have done a course which is very much focused on business analytics, it's hard for you to get into data analytics or data science. So people who have done masters in data analytics or data science, they can actually apply for business analytics roles as well. And companies won't mind hiring them because they can do their business analytics work as well, and probably they can also lend some hand to their technical team, which will be data analytics or data scientist team. Whereas, and this will be the case for most of the smaller companies, but if it's a big company and they don't really care about you being involved in a technical team, then they will not mind hiring a business analyst because they want things to be done by a business analyst. So there are roles for business analyst, but then it's very competitive because people from data analytics and data science are also applying for these roles. What are the questions generally in Python for data analyst and data engineer? Also, what kind of cloud is preferred in companies here? First, I'll answer about the cloud because it's much more easier. So, because most of the companies nowadays are going for AWS, GCP, maybe a few companies here and there, but AWS seems to be the popular one. And what type of questions they ask in Python for data analyst and data engineer? So mostly they give you certain data set. It could be any kind of data set, and they will ask you to filter data based on some conditions. They will ask you to plot data into to answer some questions. To just give you an idea, they gave you, let's say they gave you sales data, and they want to see how much sales they have made in each month, and you have to compare it year over year. So January in 2020, how much sales you made, and then January 21, how much sales you made, and then in 2022 January, how much sales you did. So you will have to plot based on that, and then they will also ask you which type of products are doing better. So let's say you can plot that, and then they will ask you to return all the rows uh, which has that particular product, or let's say they want to display all the rows which have sales more than certain amount. So these kind of questions they usually ask for um, data analyst or even data engineers. For data engineers, they focus quite a lot on SQL. So rather than Python, they will ask you to write a query. So that's there. Which university is better in terms of curriculum and corporate acceptability? Hertfordshire, Manchester Metropolitan, or Northumbria? So in terms of curriculum, I would say Hertfordshire seems to be the better one among all the universities which I have mentioned. In terms of corporate acceptability, it doesn't really matter. It all comes down to your skills, projects, and portfolio. Can we do part-time jobs in 1 year masters for living expense? You definitely can do it if you can manage your time properly for your course. If you are able to find some course, or if you are able to find some time out of your course, then definitely you can work on part-time jobs, and you will be able to manage your living expense from that. AI or cloud? Both are popular, both are good. So because most of the companies wants to automate a lot of different things, so they need AI. All the companies are now moving to cloud infrastructure because they don't want to bear the cost of hardware upfront. So cloud is again popular. So you have to make your mind which one you are more inclined to, and then you can go for either of these. They both have good demand. Hi Sridhar, yeah, I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good as well. On your other channel, you posted a video regarding the loan, but wo- that very generic. So I added some inputs in the comments. I would like to know, considering taking more than 20 lakh, how much time would one expect to fully clear it, considering all the relevant conditions like decent job, moratorium period, interest rate, etc. So yeah, I took example of 20 lakh, but if it is more, then it will probably take more time. And like I also mentioned in that video, if you have done your course properly, if you have done projects properly, it won't be like in 2 years you won't be able to find a job. So let's make it a 30 lakh, and 30 lakh obviously you won't be able to pay by just working at minimum wage. That is there. But if you are able to find a job in a relevant domain, then it is possible to pay 30 lakh Indian rupees education loan in 2 to 3 years, I would say. 3 years, why? Because if you find a job, it's possible to get sponsorship if it's not a sponsored job after your 2 years of stay in that company. So you will most likely be working for longer than just 2 years in that company. And also you will be making some money, so you would want to save some money for other stuff as well. But if you are just focused on paying back your loan as soon as possible, then with a job in relevant domain, it is possible to pay back 30 lakh Indian rupees education loan uh, in 2 years. So that is their moratorium period. Again, they give you 6 months education period and plus 6 months. I think that is the moratorium period. So that's there. But if you start paying as soon as you get job, that helps. And moratorium period is not like they don't charge you anything. They do charge you some amount, and they will accumulate the whole interest rate which you have to pay in that moratorium period, and then they add it to your principal amount, and then you start paying interest rate on that amount. So that's how it works. And interest rate is, again, l- I have taken loan from SBI. So when I took it was around 8.5. Now it's 10.5. So it's a floating interest. It increases, it decreases, I think. So it depends on how well the situation is. So interest rate is kind of floating. But if you are able to find a fixed interest rate, if you are getting a fixed interest rate, then it will be much more higher. And I think HDFC, Cradle, or Axis Bank, or ICICI, they can give you fixed interest rate, but then that's going to be high. So yeah, that's what I would like to answer for this question. I hope I was able to answer this question, but if you still have some queries, do let me know in the chat. Wanted to know about the mathematics content or level required for data science courses. So uh, I'm thinking to make a playlist for statistics for data science, which should cover everything, but I don't have that at this point on my channel. So I would suggest you to go to StatQuest or 3 Blue 1 Brown. They have playlist like linear algebra, calculus, probability, statistics. So if you watch those videos, I think you should be fine. And when we were in, let's say, 12th standard, we used to solve a lot of complex calculus equations. So it's not that hard. We used to solve a lot of very difficult probability questions, matrix manipulation, linear algebra problems. So it's not that hard. What's important is you need to know what is differentiation of an equation and what it gives you. Where do we use uh, integration, and what do you mean by area under the curve? What is the significance of it? So you need to know those kind of things. In statistics, you need to understand mean, median, mode, when to use what, about different probability distribution functions. So you need to know about normal distribution, characteristics of normal distribution. You need to know about Poisson distribution. So those are the things you need to know. And if you're not able to solve those complex uh, mathematical calculus questions, it's totally fine. You don't have to. But and Bayesian theorem is something you need to know. It's actually very important. So yeah, these are the topics or content. If you know, I think you should be fine. Bro, what you think about MSc in data science in Greenwich? But the ranking is good, but not the top university. I am worried that if I join Greenwich, my student visa will be rejected. Um, yeah, that is something. In terms of university and the course, it's fine, but they won't just reject your visa by seeing that you have applied to Greenwich University. They don't have anything against any of the universities. Maximum what they can do is they can call you for an interview, and they will ask you why do you want to join Greenwich University, what type of modules they have, what's your purpose of going to the UK, why aren't you doing that course in India. So they will ask you these kind of things, and if you are able to answer these questions genuinely, and if you are able to convince them you are not going there to just go to UK and probably drop off from the college and probably live in the country illegally, if you're able to convince them in these regards, I don't think they will reject your visa. So don't worry about that. They are not going to reject visa by just looking at the university's name. And Greenwich is a very popular university. Many international students go to that university. Course content, like I told you, it's good. So don't worry about that. If you like Greenwich, you can definitely apply for that, and may or may not you will get interview call for visa. But if you do get, be prepared for that. So yeah, that's there. Bro, is your company give you visa sponsorship? Yes, they did. How to get a freelance job in data science? For freelance job, especially for data scientist, it's a little bit hard is because of the data privacy and all those kind of concerns. But still there are a lot of businesses who are okay in giving the data, or probably they will just give you open source data which they actually want to work on, and they can probably outsource some of the data science work to you. So for that you will have to go to websites like Upwork, Freelance, and something like Upwork, Freelance, Fiverr. Yeah. So these are some of the websites where you can go to those websites and you can see what all works are available, and you can place a bid and probably you can get that. That is one way. Another way is to have word of mouth. So let's say you know few people, you know your friends, if they are working in some company, or if they know someone and they need some help with the work they are doing, and if they feel that you are good at it, you can probably ask them to uh, tell those people to probably contact you, and that way also you can find some freelance work. So these are few things that you can do. um, I'm not opposing Roshan's opinion. However, as per my research I have done so far, it's good to choose Russell Group universities. Can you, I mean, you can choose Greenwich, but have a backup too. No one knows what will happen until the government has published the new policies. I agree to it, yes, because we don't know what type of rules the government will make. But what I can say is, if government decides to say that nobody can apply to lower rank universities or affordable universities, especially for international students, then there is no way that those smaller universities will be able to survive, because the major chunk of their money they earn from international students. So if government decide to do that, it will be really hard for small universities to still be in operation. So, and if that happens, then it will be a big blow to UK's economy again, which I don't think they will do. But again, that's just my opinion. And as Rajesh said, government can literally do anything. We don't know that. So yeah, just to be on a safer side, you can apply to Russell Group universities as well. And even in my videos where I discussed about how to apply to universities and how to choose universities, I personally segmented universities into different sections. So the first section was like comfortable universities, lower rank universities. Second was potential universities and mid-tier universities, and then um, some universities which were like really high rank, like University of Edinburgh and things like that. So yeah, even just to be on a safer side, it's better to apply to various range of universities. At the end, if you feel like you won't be able to afford a particular university, then definitely you can go for some affordable universities. But that's there. But also, if you are very sure that you can't really afford Russell Group universities, and if you end up applying to that, and these visa rejection and also interview, it will happen at a later stage at the very end, where you won't have time to apply for other universities and uh, get offer from them. So if you are really on a tighter budget, and if you can't really afford a university, let's say above 20,000 pound fees, so you can still look into universities like Coventry and things like that. But in my opinion, I think you should be fine even if you just go for Greenwich University and some uh, similar universities. But yeah, just to be on a safer side, if you can afford, then definitely apply to Russell Group universities as well. Can you please tell us what is your expertise level towards data science when you joined in the university? So when I joined Newcastle University, before that I had done data science course from Applied AI. Again, I have a lot of videos related to Applied AI on my channel. So I learned quite a lot. I worked on a lot of very difficult projects as part of that course. So I knew quite a lot about machine learning, deep learning, maths and stat. I think I learned more before joining that course, and even in terms of Python programming, I was uh, very much comfortable with Python before joining that course. So in that course, mostly I learned about machine learning and deep learning. So that was there. And when I joined my masters, in masters I learned more of newer technologies like GAN and more towards natural language processing, where we have to where we had to generate lot of text. So mm, yeah, so most of my basics related to machine learning and deep learning came from applied AI course, which I did before coming to university. Manchester Met or Greenwich or Goldsmith University of London or Salford University will be better in course as well as job perspective, your opinion? So I've never heard about Goldsmith University of London. Salford I may have heard, but I don't know much about it. So I can only comment on Manchester Metropolitan University and Greenwich. So in terms of course content, both the universities are good, but I think Manchester Metropolitan is a bit expensive as compared to Greenwich. So that's why I personally think Greenwich should be a better option than Manchester. On top of that, Greenwich is in London. So you will, Manchester is by no means a smaller city, but of course it is smaller than London. So in London, there are lots and lots of opportunities. That is also one of the reasons. But then if you consider different type of job interviews, they are all online, so it doesn't really matter if you are staying in London, Manchester, or even a very smaller city like Teesside or Newcastle. So yeah, it does not really matter. In terms of job, again, like I mentioned multiple time in this live stream, university does not matter much as long as you have skills and you have your portfolio with you. My total is around 26 lakh, and I am going to Cradle. I know this can't be predicted upfront, but I don't want to drag this loan for too long. Also, Canada pays more than UK in this field, I suppose. Your views? Yeah, Canada probably pays more. But when I was talking to my friend, she is looking for jobs. I'm not saying that whatever I'm going to say right now is the bottom line. But yeah, I will again talk to her because she is still applying for jobs. So I'll ask her what's the average salary, and based on that, we will see which country is paying more. But last time when I talked to her, it was like a month back. The salary which she told me, it was approximately equivalent to pound. So whatever was the Canadian dollar, it was when we converted it, it was somewhere close to pound. So that's there. But yeah, I will again talk to her, and I'll see, because I'm pretty sure that you would have done more research on the pay scale in Canada, where as compared to me. But yeah, I will ask my friend, we'll talk to it, and probably I will be able to say something which is more concrete in next live stream. So yeah, I will make a note of it so that I just don't forget it. So yeah. Yeah, I will encourage people with no programming experience to learn some Python, SQL, maybe MongoDB before joining a master's in DS, especially if you are going to Russell Group universities. They do exactly this. Yeah, I totally agree to Zafir, because if you learn programming and then you join master's program or even course, it even like a certificate course, it helps by a huge margin. You will be able to speed up your process in learning something related to data science, and not worrying about your programming skills. Because let's say you are very new to programming and you don't know programming, and you get your first data analysis project, rather than focusing on what type of questions you want to answer in your analysis, how you want to structure your notebook, how you want to structure your plots, you will be worrying about how do I code this, how do I code that. So yeah, that is very important to learn programming, and also SQL. That really helps a lot. Why US salary are very high compared to UK? I know some people in US their salary is $1 per year. So this the reason is the medical expenses are really high in US, and US government has forced company to give that high salary, because if you get a salary which is equivalent to UK in US and you get some medical emergency, you will end up losing all your savings. So that's the reason why you get such a high salary in US. Bro, I have 3 years gap before graduation and one after that. Okay. Is it possible to get admission in UK? I have done BSc in mathematics. I want to do MSc in data science. Mm, so you had 3 years of gap before graduation, and then you again have gap after graduation. So if you have just one gap, you can still justify it. But then if you keep having gaps one after other, companies, universities, visa officer, they start to question why do you get so many gaps. So if you have a very good answer to that, if you have done something productive, be it related to data science, be it something else, if you have done something productive, or if you had a very legit reason, you can probably uh, answer those questions or the doubts which they have in their mind. But to get it to get an offer, I think it is possible to get offer from, let's say, affordable universities or lower rank universities, maybe in some Russell Group universities as well. If you are able to show your dedication, show your knowledge from your SOP, from your past work, if you have any, from your CV. So yes, it is possible. So yeah, that's what I would say. Uh, Try to be prepared for any type of questions they might ask you, and if you're still confused, you can just prepare your profile, take IELTS exam and try to do good in your IELTS, and apply to universities and see how they are responding. Because the good thing is, in the UK you don't have to pay application fees to apply for universities, so you can actually apply to as many universities as possible, so you can do that. And while talking about application process, I think government can probably do this, that you will have to pay application fees and you can't just apply to universities for free. So that is one change which I can see probably government can make. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. It is possible to get admit, so don't worry about that. Just try to make a good profile and try to apply to multiple universities and see how they're responding to that. In current scenario like recession, to how to tough how tough is to get visa sponsorship job as business analyst role in UK. I am targeting next September intake. So till 24, everything will be fine in UK. So again, like I told in the video, UK is looking for difficulties for next 2 years. So everything may or may not be fine till 24. Uh, so that's there. About sponsorship job, if there is still PSW beyond 24, then still companies will want you to take post study work visa, and it's not that easy to get sponsorship job, I'm not gonna lie. I've told this like so many times in the live stream as well, that you just have to keep applying for as many jobs as possible, and until you feel like, okay, this is the job which is giving me everything, the amount of salary I want, they are sponsoring my visa, just keep applying for those things. There are many companies who are still expanding, so it's not like because of recession the whole job market has stopped and there is no more jobs in the market. It's just the bigger companies, they just overshooted the kind of profits they were thinking that they will make, and based on that they hired a lot more people than what they needed, and that's the reason why bigger companies are firing so many people. But smaller companies, they always run on less resource, so so that they can just save money. So smaller companies are still hiring, and if you go to LinkedIn or any other job portal, you will see there are still a lot of jobs. So yeah, it's like there is no one uh, thumb rule which you can follow to get a sponsorship job. You will have to apply to as many jobs as possible. I have applied to all the universities I want to, but my math rated score is in UG are low. I have 3 years of work experience as a developer. How are my chances for data science admits? So you have 3 years of experience, so don't worry too much about your maths score in undergrad. I think you should be able to get admit from most of the universities, if not all. And I wish you all the best. And I hope you get admit from the university which you are really looking for. So yeah, don't worry about it. You have 3 years of experience, which is good, and also it's in developer field, which is very closely related to data science as well. So yeah, you should be fine. I will come to January 23 is PSW closing. So no, for 23 January it is not closing, and I think for 23 September also it won't be closing. So yeah, you should be fine. Thank you. We'll keep you posted and send you me when I come to UK. Yeah, sure, definitely. How much money can you save a month from your salary? How much money can I save? Hmm. I think it's totally possible to save around 1,500 pounds out of your salary, considering uh, your rent, living expense, and maybe some shopping here and there once in a while. So yeah, I think it is totally possible to save around 1,500. But again, it depends on how much salary you are getting and what type of lifestyle you want. So yeah, sweets. I love sweets. How is job market for data science, analytics, and computer science in UK? I am a Java developer. Will it be a good decision to switch to data science? So job market is not as good as it's compared to starting of the year. So that's the answer. But there are still lots and lots of jobs if you have good skills. So that's the answer for the first question. Now, second question is whether it will be a good decision to switch to data science. If you are enjoying being a developer, I would suggest you to continue doing that. But if you really like maths and analyzing data and all those kind of things, then yes, it could be a good option as long as you are liking that particular work. So yeah, switching to data science is totally dependent on what you like to do most. So what I can suggest you is try to do maybe one or two side projects, not on just toy data set. Try to do some complex projects and see whether you're liking data science related stuff, or you're still liking your Java developer thing. So that will give you a good understanding of whether you want to actually move to data science or not. In terms of job opportunities and all those kind of things, I think even if you move to data science, you will be able to find something related to data science because you already have some knowledge of, not exactly some knowledge, but you have a good amount of knowledge for programming. So it should not be hard for you to pick up Python programming language because you already know Java. So you know you are good with programming, I think. Most of Russell Group have application fees like King's College London has 12,000 INR application fee. So can we get application fee? Those very top universities might be having application fees. I did not apply to those universities because the fees were just too high for me. But other Russell Group universities, they don't have application fee. At least they didn't have application fee when I applied. Uh, we still need to check whether they have introduced application fee already. So maybe universities like LSC, King's College London, University of London, and yeah, so those bigger, obviously Oxford and Cambridge, they might be having application fees, but other Russell Group universities, they don't have application fees. I think if anyone here in the live stream have applied to Russell Group universities, please let us know whether all the Russell Group universities have introduced application fees, because when I applied, they didn't have application fees. Thank you so much, brother, for your dedication towards us. No one tells like you. I'm glad that my live stream videos and everything is helping you, because I have been in your shoes. I was also struggling with a lot of uh, decisions that I had to make. So I know the struggle. That's why I try to help as much as I could. Most of the videos which I was able to find, that was mostly related to fun stuff like how's the life in UK and things like that. But I wanted to I wanted some of the answers related to data science, which I was not able to find. So I took some risks, but at the end it paid off. But then I want to provide information to you guys which is helpful to you, and it will make a little bit easier for you all to probably um, make your decision better, and maybe it will make something easy for you. Yeah, Roshan, thank you so much for your time and efforts you are putting in. I'm glad as long as it's helping you guys. I applied to many Russell Group universities and application fees. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. So thank you for letting us know. I applied for Warwick, Durham, and Nottingham, and they have application fee 5,000. That's strange. So yeah, probably a few universities are already introducing application fees, and there are some universities which are not. So I think you need to probably uh, because when I applied, like I told you, no universities were having these kind of application fees. So yeah, do check out whether the university is charging any application fees, and if you are very sure that yes, you want to go to that university and you're ready to pay the application, because 5,000 INR. I mean, if you're ready to pay like 20 lakh, and the university which you have mentioned, Warwick, Durham, and Nottingham, their fees is actually higher than 20 lakhs. So I think 5,000 should not be that big of an issue, but yeah, still, it's considerable amount of money, at least in terms of Indian rupees. How is your work? Is it hectic? So the work is not hectic, but the thing which I'm working on right now is very new, which I have never done before, which is signal processing. So that is what is taking a bit of time, and I have to read like a lot of papers and a lot of different articles to know more about signal processing, what things to use, and things like that. And still, I'm using a lot of mathematical concepts like first order derivatives, second order derivatives, and kurtosis and skewness. There are a lot of different things, Fourier transform, wavelet transform. So yeah, that's where all the mathematics comes in, and When people say data science is not just about maths, probably they have done something else. I don't know. So yes, you need to know maths, but it's not like you have to code everything. There are so many packages. Let's say there is this package SciPy, which does all these things for you, so you don't really have to worry about it. But then what you just need to understand is what a Fourier transform will do, what a wavelet transform will do. So if you are obviously working for signal processing, but if you are working on tabular data, you need to know about various distributions like PDF, CDF of your data, and distributions like normal distribution, Poisson distribution, which I mentioned earlier in the in the live stream. So yeah, if you know all those kind of things, you should be fine. And yeah, like I told you, I'm learning quite a lot of new things, which is exciting, and I'm liking it. So it's very enjoyable. I'm not, I won't say that it's hectic, but yes, I'm not getting enough time to make videos, because even to make these videos, it's not like I'll just turn on a camera and I will sit in front of it and I will just speak about things, because I don't want to do that. I do proper thorough research about stuff, and then I like to share those information with you guys. So yeah, it takes quite a lot of time, effort, and research to make a video. And also, it's not just about making a video. Sometimes it takes multiple takes to do a video, and then you have to also uh, do video editing. It also takes time. So yeah, for that I'm not getting too much time. uh, but in terms of hectic, I don't think it is that hectic, because I have freedom to go in office at whatever time I want. I can leave office at whatever time I can, as long as I'm doing the work. So yeah, that's there. I want you to be my mentor. I got admit into Northumbria University, London. All the best, mate. And obviously, whenever you need any help, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to help in whatever way I can. Well, we are now over 1 hour, and we had a very healthy discussion today in this live stream. So we have one more question. So, how is big data engineering course from Liverpool University? So, big data engineering, I think I'll have to look into it. I have not looked into this course before. So, I will look into it and I will let you know in the comment section. Yeah, so I will let you know in the comment section about this. And if you don't have any more questions, I will end this Q&A, and I will hope to see you guys next week, Saturday, 12 p.m. GMT. And yesterday I had some work and things, so I had to postpone this live stream to Sunday, but we will still be doing this every Saturday, 12 p.m. Okay, one last question. Is deep learning that necessary for masters in data science? If you are very good with your machine learning skills, then yes, it's good to learn deep learning as part of your masters. But if you are still very new and you don't know much about machine learning, then it's better to focus on machine learning, because if you go for interviews, most of the companies are still asking questions on machine learning rather than focusing on deep learning, because deep learning is still somewhat kind of a black box. It's not as explainable as machine learning algorithms are. So yeah, that's why it's, if you are good with machine learning, then definitely it's good to go for deep learning. But if not, then it's better to learn machine learning in depth. You're welcome, Sriram. What do you think about City University of London for data science? It's a good university. I had applied to the university. I had offer from that. So in my opinion, it's a good university with a very good course content. Okay, guys, if you found this live stream to be helpful, do hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next week, 12 p.m. GMT, Saturday. Have a great weekend. Is almost over. If you are in India, it might be evening now, but then yeah, have a great Sunday evening.